examples of car accident schemes and tell us what we can do to avoid becoming a victim. This is outrageous.
There is a car accident underworld. $4.5 to $20 billion it costs the American public every year, depending on estimates. And we asked the USAA to show us some of these staged accidents. We have the first one right here, and that's called the drive down. See that guy? He's waiting at the stop. The other guy, part of the scam, says, "Come on through. Come on through." He says, "Come on through," and then he hits him. And what happens after the accident? He said, "Oh, I didn't tell you to come through. Why did you come through?"
Oh, man.
You as the victim says, "Listen, you were waving me on." He says, "No, I had a fly in my nose. I didn't do that."
I see this all the time where somebody's waving to say, "Hey, yeah, come on in here."
Absolutely. Most people are honest, but that happens more than we want.
They're both in on the scheme.
No. The car that actually comes through, based on the way it's through, is a victim. He's an innocent bystander. He's a sucker. He's the scammed. The next most common thing is the panic stop. This is, now look at this. See the victim in the second car, in the blue car? Okay.
I see. We actually have a sign.
He's looking now. That white car is going to do something very bad. He stops suddenly.
Right.
And what usually happens is that white car is full of people, including a lookout. He waits to see when the blue car is distracted and says, "Slam on your brakes." And short stops.
Just like that.
Absolutely.
So it's an intentional rear-ending.
The guy in the white car gets out and says, "Hey, I've got whiplash, and you're going to owe me a lot of money."
So 5 people jump out of that white car, and
they're all hurt.
Well, either they call for ambulances, or they say, "I'm okay," and then make a claim to the insurance company, or sue you a few months later after they go to phony doctors and sometimes phony lawyers and build up these lawsuits.
Let's get the last one now. The swoop and the SWAT.
The swoop and squat. There we go. The swoop and squat.
Okay.
There's the white van. That's the victim. The red car and the truck are part of the scam. Truck pulls in front of the red car, forcing the red car to stop. The van, the victim, strikes the red car. Then, you know what happens?
What?
The truck takes off. So, they say, the red car either says, "It wasn't my fault, the truck cut me off," or the red car says, "What are you talking about? There was a truck. There was no truck that cut us off. You hit me in the rear." And under the law, a strike in the rear is pretty much absolute liability for the person that strikes the car in front of you.
It is so cool to see all this stuff actually, and it's great that those that organization videotaped that for you. Now you've got 5 quick tips on how to avoid being the
Let's
victim
show
of a
them.
staged car accident.
And we thank the USAA, and we thank some of these other insurance companies like Allstate and the FBI for coming up with these tips. But the USAA did a great job with that video. Pay attention. Don't tailgate. If you tailgate, you're going to be set up as a victim in this car accident underworld. Now, if you have an accident and you say, "Well, there's no real damage," call the police anyway. Because what will happen is someone will say, "Oh, no, I've got slipped discs now. I can't walk. I'm disabled." Be an investigator. Carry a camera. You also document the scene.
You also say, tell your insurance company and don't settle for cash at the scene. A lot of people do that.
A lot of people say, "Hey, hey, $100, $200. I don't want to pay the deductible. Let's settle this now." Then you get sued anyway. Then the insurance company says, "Listen, you didn't tell me about this accident. I can't cover you on this." Be an investigator. Carry a camera. Document the scene. Be very vigilant about what's going on.
And be aware of witnesses.
And be aware of witnesses. And be aware of phony witnesses and people that will come up to you and say, "Listen, I know a lawyer. I know a doctor you can see. I was a witness here." Get names, get addresses, get licenses. Call the police. If you think it's a scam, call the Special Investigations Unit of your insurance company and say, "I've been scammed. I don't think you should pay on this. This is part of a criminal enterprise, and it's big business in the United States."
That's amazing.
It's frightening.
I didn't even know it was going on.
I know.
It's really bad.
An excellent eye-opener. And for folks who would like more information, go to foxandfriends.com to pick up Peter's advice and blog.
We have a blog on that after the show this morning.
That's exactly right.
Great segment, Peter.
Nice to see you.
Good job.
Good to see you.
Just ahead on the show, the widow of Daniel Pearl going after her husband's